Hello, hello, hello.
And we are ready to go here at Dodger Stadium for the LA City Section Baseball Championship games. We start with Division I as the number 2 seed Carson Colts gets set to take on number 1 seed the Banning Pilots. Good morning, everyone. Jeff Kurtz alongside Ben Kurtz with you here on the NFHS Network. Director Chris Cashman and our team ready to bring you 2 outstanding baseball games at Dodger Stadium here today. And Ben, what a matchup we've got between 2 teams that are very familiar with each other, league opponents, crosstown rivals. They have had quite a rivalry over the years, especially in football, but this is the first time that the baseball teams are meeting in a CIF's LA City Section Championship game at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, for Carson, Coach Michael Kunipo-Aguirre, the second-year head coach, really said that familiarity helps in this matchup. They've seen each other 3 times before in league. This is their 4th time. Carson 1-2 against the Banning. But Carson, Coach Kunipo-Aguirre coming off, he lost 19 seniors last year. And that really impacted his team. He has 1 senior in the lineup that today, and everyone else are underclassmen.
Well, and it's interesting, too, because for Carson, they started out the year, Ben, 1-9. And on their way to an 18-13 record overall, but really turned it around and have won 17 of their last 21 games coming into this one against Banning earlier in the year. And the last time these 2 teams played each other was back on April 11th. That was a game that Carson won of the 3-game set that they played against Banning this year. Banning took the first game 4-0 on March 17th, 3-1 on the 9th of April, and then lost to Carson 5-0 on the 11th. But this is a Carson team that, maybe you didn't expect to see them here this year. They were here 2 years ago in an Open Division Championship game, lost. They have never won a section championship in baseball in school history, dating back to the opening of the school in 1963. So there's certainly a lot on the line for the Colts here during the day today.
Yeah, Carson never won a championship before in their entire school history. And Banning hasn't won one since 1961. So it's been almost 100 years. No.
Combined,
no.
Yeah.
Between the two, yeah.
You're doing the math right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well over 100. And Tom Levere, who's the 3rd-year head coach for the Banning Pilots, leading his squad into today's game, a 22-8 record, the number 1 seed in Division I. A lot on the line here for them. He's an alumnus. He actually played in this game in 1985. They lost to Kennedy on a walk-off home run to end the game, which is pretty remarkable at a big ballpark like Dodger Stadium here today. But the Banning Pilots have been playing very, very well. They finished 11-2 in league play, and they are set and ready to go. They were here last year and came up on the short end. So like you said, Ben, trying to win their first title since 1961. I mean, that is a long time.
Yeah.
Dodger Stadium had barely opened by that particular point in time, and now they're trying to do that. So there's going to be history made for one of these 2 teams here this morning.
Yeah. I mean, one of the teams, Carson, either they win their first championship in school history, or Banning, they win their first championship since 1961. Either way, it's going to be a great game, great matchups between these 2 teams, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Let's look at the starting lineup first for the visiting Carson Colts. It'll be Nate Ruan, the freshman leadoff hitter. The second baseman for Carson, he gets the nod in the 1 spot for Coach Michael Kunipo-Aguirre here today. Juno Carrillo, the shortstop, will bat second. Fernandez Barajas is the catcher. He's batting in the 3rd spot in the order. Xavier Allen is the cleanup hitter. He's playing left field today. Noah Sandoval, the first baseman, will bat 5th. The 6th hitter in the lineup is the center fielder Chris Sinclair. Isaac Hernandez is your designated hitter today. He's batting for the pitcher Anthony Dorado in the 7th spot. Damian Ruvalcaba is the right fielder. He will bat 8th. And James Markle is the 3rd baseman, batting 9th. On the mound for Banning today is Anthony Camarena, and Camarena will be throwing to Matthew Gonzalez behind the plate. Jared Nakazawa is down at 3rd base for the Pilots. Isaac Martinez is at short. A.J. Herrera, 2nd base. Angelo Duarte at 1st. And then around the outfield, left to right, Brandon Villarreal in left field, Daniel Sanchez in center, Pedro Ibanez Eddie is in right field. And you look at the statistics for Anthony Camarena, and Ben, we're going off what they've got on Max Preps, and we're assuming that the teams are updating that and keeping that correctly. But Camarena, 5-0 in 45 innings. He's given up 19 hits, only 12 walks. He's struck out 37, and his ERA is 0. No earned runs given up. He's given up 3 runs on the year, but none of them earned in 45 innings. Truly remarkable. So if that's an accurate stat based on what the team has provided to Max Preps, that's just a phenomenal record coming into today's game.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. I mean, he's opponents are hitting .128 against him and are only getting on base 22% of the time they're up. So it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup. We'll see how Camarena does against Carson. He's seen him before. But Carson really just has to attack early and get Camarena rattled and see if they can just find ways to get on base.
Camarena's first pitch was high and away to Ruan for a ball. This one, Ruan's going to show bunt, and it will be right down the heart of the plate for strike one. Ruan, a freshman, has had an outstanding year, a .380 batting average coming in. He's at 6 doubles, driven in 14 runs, and leads the team with 24 stolen bases. As here's a pitch that's going to be popped foul, first base side out of play, and the count goes 1-2. I mean, if you look at Ruan as a freshman, Ben, he was in 8th grade last year. If you had told him, hey, next year at this time, you're going to be playing in a championship final at Dodger Stadium and batting leadoff for Carson, I don't know if he would have believed you.
I doubt he would. I mean, he's second on the team in average, .380, like you said, and he's getting on a little less than half the time he's up with a .482 on-base percentage.
That pitch is going to be high and away, and the count is even at 2-2 on Ruan. Pleasant day here at Dodger Stadium under cloudy skies. The 2-2 pitch is in there for strike 3 called, and there's one down. Temperature at the start of the game, 69 degrees. We expect to see the sun for the division or the open division game at about 1 p.m. The high today is supposed to be 73. So here at Chavez Ravine. So a great day for baseball all the way around. Juno Carrillo will now step in after the strike 3 punch out by Camarena. Gets the first out of the inning. Carrillo, a .280 hitter on the year, 16 stolen bases, 20 runs batted in, leads the team. This pitch is going to be high, ball 1. The infield is really playing Carrillo to the opposite side with the third baseman, Nakazawa, even with a bag at about 15 feet off on that third base side. This pitch is going to catch the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. And the outfield is playing shallow.
Yeah, they are really playing in. Center fielder shifting a little bit to the our right of the bag there.
I mean, Sanchez is practically playing right center. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be low and in, 2-1.
Yeah, Sanchez in right center, and the other two, Villarreal over there in left, playing kind of straight up, a little bit off the line, and then Ibanez, Eddie over there in right, playing towards the line. So they're really playing Carrillo to push.
And he's going to lift one in the air to that right side, foul territory, in foul ground. Ibanez, Eddie is going to make the catch, and there's 2 down. Well, they had that played pretty well, Ben. I mean, boy, it was almost like you had the outfielders were playing a deep infield on the grass. I mean, that was a pretty remarkable alignment for Banning. There's 2 away here in the top of the first, and the batter is going to be the catcher, Fernandez Barajas, batting .289 on the year. This team has had a decent number of home runs for a high school team, and Barajas on the year has got 1 of them. This is going to be pretty much straight away, though, on Barajas as Camarena from the full windup delivers. And this one's going to be a slow roller down the third base line, and it'll roll foul.
Yeah, Carson isn't going to get a lot of free passes in terms of errors from Banning. I mean, they only have 1 error on the season overall, a .950 fielding percentage. And it's just you're not going to get any free passes. You need to hit the ball hard, you need to catch some barrels, and you need to find some gaps if you want to put runs on the board against Banning.
Well, there's a big gap in left center as Sanchez is shifted over in center field to the right side. This ball is going to be fouled away over the first base dugout, and the count is going to be 0-2. Camarena looking to cruise his way through this first inning. He retired Ruan on a called strike 3, got Carrillo to fly out into foul territory down the right field line. Now is an 0-2 count on Barajas, and Barajas is going to ask for time. Dimensions here at Dodger Stadium. We got 360 into left field and right, 395 to straightaway center, 375 in the power alleys. Camarena's delivery is going to be ripped down the third base line. That's going to go for extra bases. Into the corner chasing is Villarreal. Barajas with a wide turn around first base and will jog into second with a 2-out double.
Great piece of two-strike hitting there from Barajas. I mean, that was just textbook. That's exactly what you want. They're playing Nakazama for Banning was playing him off the bag, off the line, and I honestly don't think Banning expected him to go down the line, and that's exactly what he did. He got his pitch, he got an inside breaking ball, took it right down the line, and now Carson has a great opportunity here with 2 outs and Xavier Allen up.
And Xavier Allen's got 4 home runs on the year to go with a .431 batting average.
Best on the team and the best on-base percentage. He's getting on over half the time at .538.
So a huge opportunity early for Carson as this pitch is going to be off the outside edge, ball 1. Allen, a junior, wearing number 27. I know the guy doesn't play here, but he's trying to make like Mike Trout here with that 27 jersey and see if he can do something with this. He's going to swing and miss. 1-1. Camarena pitching out of the stretch with 2 outs in the inning, but a little bit of duress here with a man in scoring position after that double. This is another big, healthy swing by Allen, and now it's 1-2.
Those aren't terrible swings from Allen. I mean, he's taking good, healthy hacks. Those are probably going to be called strikes on the outer part of the plate. So no harm in swinging at those because that's a good pitch to take the other way.
Allen now going to a 2-strike approach, Ben, choking up on the bat and crowding the plate. Camarena delivers. It's going to be fouled straight back.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do with 2 strikes on an 0-2 count. You really just want to put the ball in play, make Banning make a play. I'm sure nerves are high for both teams playing in Dodger Stadium, so if you put a ball on the ground hard somewhere, there's a good chance that some type of error will be made.
Or the ball's going to get through. I mean, the field play is really true here, and it's one of the things both sets of coaches talked about, having had some experience here over the last couple of years. Here's the 1-2 from Camarena. Lifted in the air, right field, fading on it. Ibanez Eddie, and he tracks it down. Had to go back on the baseball a little bit. Also had to do a rotation there about halfway, but he catches it over the left shoulder. And that completes the top half of the first inning. We'll keep it right here on the NFHS Network. Let's go through the starting lineup for Banning. Meanwhile, we've got an injured player down.
That's Matthew Gonzalez down there.
I wonder if he got hit when...
With the bat, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like that might have been the case at the end of that swing by Allen. Before we go to Banning's lineup. Boy, that was a bit of a shot for Gonzalez.
Ooh. He's getting up, though.
And he's limping off the field.
He's walking on his own accord, though. So
that is good.
And it seems like his walking is getting better and better.
Well, the senior at 5'6", 130 pounds, not a big kid, but it's going to take a lot to keep him off the field in a game like this. Let's again review that starting lineup for Banning for you. Pedro Ibanez Eddie, who made that last catch to end the top of the inning, is going to be leading off. He's playing right field today for the Pilots. A.J. Herrera, the second baseman, will bat second. Jared Nakazawa is the third baseman, batting in the third spot in the order. Angelo Duarte at first base will bat fourth. Daniel Sanchez in center field today, batting fifth for Banning. Brandon Villarreal, the left fielder, will bat sixth. Ethan Camejo is the designated hitter today, batting for the pitcher Anthony Camarena. He's in the seventh spot in the order. Isaac Martinez in the eighth spot, playing shortstop, and Matthew Gonzalez, the catcher, who after getting hit with that bat is probably happy he's not batting leadoff right now. He's batting ninth and will have a little bit of time to recover.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Anthony Dorado on the mound for the Carson Colts. He'll be throwing to Fernandez Barajas behind the plate. Over at third base is James Markle. Juno Carrillo is at shortstop. Nate Ruan is the second baseman. Noah Sandoval is over at first. And then around the outfield, Xavier Allen is in left. Chris Sinclair in center. And Daniel Ruvalcaba is in right.
Yeah, Pedro Ibanez Eddie, probably one of the best hitters on this Banning lineup, batting in the leadoff spot. .395 average, .546 on base percentage with 4 stolen bags and a home run. I mean, that's the guy you want in the leadoff spot. Definitely can get on base, got some pop in his bat. and is just a great overall kid to have in the leadoff spot and get you started against a good Carson team.
Yeah, and for Ibanez, Eddie, with that one home run, Banning only hit 2 this year. So you've got a leadoff guy with a little bit of power. That's certainly helpful. Anthony Dorado has thrown 47 2/3 innings for Carson this year to lead the team, a 2.64 earned run average in 11 appearances, 41 strikeouts to 16 walks. So he's pretty stingy as well.
Yeah.
Not as stingy as Camarena's ERA, which I don't think you could find with a microscope. It's so low, but 2.64 is not bad on a season where, again, Carson struggled. 1 win in their first 10 games, but boy, they have come on strong in the back half of the year. Winning 17 of their last 21, including an 11-inning game in the semifinals. That was really a game that stretched not only the two teams playing and then Carson coming into this championship game, but also CIF officials who were sweating out their lease arrangements at the stadium for that game. They had a hard out at 11 o'clock, and Commissioner Vicky Lagos was like, we need to keep this game moving, guys. Let's pump this one along if we can. Here is a pitch that's going to miss off the outside edge to Ibanez Eddie.
Yeah, and because
1-0.
Yeah, and because of that game, Carson, one of their pitchers, Salvador Carrillo, is not eligible for today. He threw something like 104 pitches in 6 2/3. Big part of that game for them.
Here's a foul ball over the first base dugout, and the count evens at 1-1. Well, yeah, and you figure, Ben, you throw 6 2/3 innings, and okay, we're almost done here.
Yeah,
they were just past the halfway point in that game.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a tough injury for Carson. Josiah Agredano, who's been their number 2 pitcher all year and starting shortstop, as this pitch is in the dirt for a ball, 2-1. Tore his ACL in the quarterfinal game and is out.
It's just a
for
tough
this one.
It's a tough break for
especially for
Agredano. For a senior not being able to play in the championship game for his team. It's just got to kill him.
Here's a swing and a miss, and the count evens at 2-2. But he's on the bench, cheering everybody on.
He's there.
Providing a lot of support to Juno Carrillo, who's getting the start today at shortstop. Here's the 2-2. That pitch is high and away, and the count goes full. And Juno Carrillo, a junior, normally a second baseman or a third baseman, but obviously with a good enough glove to play shortstop. He's deep and on the edge of the grass on the infield is the count now full on Ibanez Eddie. This one's fouled away again over the first base side. Good job by the leadoff hitter.
Yeah,
he's already 6 pitches in.
Great first at bat. It's exactly what you want from leadoff guy. Even if he doesn't get on here, a long at bat is exactly what Banning needs to start off their offensive campaign.
Ibanez Eddie, I think he even gave his bat a kiss there after that foul ball just to, hey, it's all right, we're going to get a hit here if we can. He's going to lift one in the air, foul territory down the line, potentially playable. No, it's going to hit the netting. And we'll roll foul. In pursuit, Daniel Ruvalcaba from right field and Noah Sandoval from first base. And pitch 8 of the at-bat coming up here, Ben. And already you've got a Carson pitching staff that was stretched the other day in terms of pitch counts. So the lower they can keep them, the better. And the longer Dorado can go, the better.
You have to think that's something Coach Levere talked about before the game, is wanting to stretch Dorado's pitch count and just the pitching staff in general for Carson.
Well, here is a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Dorado perseveres there and gets the first out of the bottom of the inning. But a Nate pitch at bat for Ibanez Eddie. So even though he didn't get on base or put the ball in play, that's still a good start for your leadoff guy. It's giving the other guys a chance to see a lot of pitches from the on-deck circle in the dugout.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for Herrera to get his timing down. A.J. Herrera, second in the team in slugging with a .551, first on the team in hits with 35.
And a .393 batting average on the year for the second baseman. This first pitch is going to be lifted foul down the third base line into the netting. Xavier Allen's going to retrieve in left field and toss the ball back down. Good crowd on hand here from representing both schools and a rivalry game. But as we mentioned in the pregame, this is the first time the two teams have met in a baseball championship in the LA City section, as this one's low and away for a ball.
Yeah, Banning brought their band.
They did.
And some cheerleaders.
Yeah. Banning's band is pretty good.
Oh,
they were
yeah.
performing before the game started, and boy, it upped the atmosphere around here. Already a great atmosphere. As this ball in the air, foul territory, giving chase is Markle, and he's going to run out of room. I mean, you walk into Dodger Stadium, and whether you're a Dodger fan or not, it's impressive.
Yeah.
Third oldest ballpark in America behind Wrigley Field and Fenway Park. And just ahead of Angel Stadium, just down the freeway a little bit. And the atmosphere is great already. And then you throw the Banning band into the mix, and boy, this ball is a curveball, lifted in the air to shallow center, but calling for it and making the play is Sinclair for out number 2.
Yeah, Sinclair kind of already playing in on Herrera. So you have to think, I mean, these teams have seen each other 3 times before, so they've got the reports on each other, and they've got to have some kind of shift for each at-bat, which is what you'll see with certain teams at the varsity level.
Jared Nakazawa, the third baseman, now coming to the plate. A .333 hitter on the year. Yeah, one of the things noticing just already anyway, and especially given the lack of both coaches talking about, hey, pitching and defense is our emphasis. We don't have a bunch of guys. We're not going to come in and score 8 runs every game. That's not what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of the outfielders playing in a little bit as Nakazawa is going to take a breaking ball for a strike.
So you got to think from Carson's perspective, you got to take Banning as a base hit and double kind of team. They're not going to hit many home runs. They're not going to power the ball out to the warning track.
This ball is going to be low and in. Barajas wanted something low and away. Either way, it's a ball. 1-1. This one's going to be fouled away, first base side, and the count goes 1-2. I mean, just looking at the scoring in the 3 games between these two teams, the high total in runs was 5. That was by Carson in their last meeting.
Yeah.
Banning got a total of 7 runs. Carson 6 in the 3 meetings between the two teams. This one's well away, 2-2.
I mean, just looking at max preps here, 232 hits for Banning this year. Only 26 of them have been doubles. 9 triples, 2 home runs.
A lot of manufactured runs for the Pilots this year, which the coaches admitted. They said it's like playing in the 80s right now, as this one's fouled back into the net behind home plate.
Yeah, a lot of small ball from Coach Lavier, but for Coach
Kunabo Aguirre.
Yeah, he said he knows. He was coached by Coach Lavier, so he knows when the small ball is coming. He knows when those hit and runs are being put on, and he knows when the double steals are happening as well.
This ball up the middle. Nakazawa is going to get it through for the first hit of the game for the Pilots. And he's on board at first base on a seeing eye single up the middle. Yeah, Coach Joe Sines coached Kunabo Aguirre when they were both at Carson. Coach Sines now an assistant coach with Tom Lavier over at Banning. So certainly a lot of familiarity. We asked both sets of coaches, almost like a friendly rivalry to a degree. Like you've got, certainly a rivalry between the two schools.
I mean, they're only, a mile and a half from each other?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's Angelo Duarte, the first baseman, a .274 hitter on the year. He's got the other home run in addition to Ibanez Eddie for the Pilots this season. Here's a pitch. Dorado tries a backdoor breaking ball that just misses 1-0.
Good-looking pitch there from
Dorado.
Dorado.
That was a pretty good pitch.
Yeah.
Wow. Not by much.
Yeah, Nakazawa over there. Gotta keep it close. Dorado a lefty, along with Camarena. Both got to keep short leads, get big secondaries.
Dorado's pitch is lifted high in the air on the infield. This is Carrillo calling for it, and he will make the play. We've got 1 inning in the books here from Dodger Stadium. It's the Division I championship game in the CIF LA City section right here on the NFHS Network. We'll be back with second inning action right after this.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
One second from half court.
Jumping for joy.
First ever.
A 2-on-1. Oh!
Did he bring it in? He did.
It is.
Caught!
And action.
The action's happening at your Ford dealer, and Ford's action heroes are ready to perform. Our F-Series, America's best-selling trucks with superpowers only Ford can offer. Our Mustang Mach-E with electrifying performance that blasts past gas stations. And our Ford Bronco, rugged enough to conquer any terrain. Don't miss the action. With your trade-in, lease an F-150 Super Crew STX for a low $399 a month.
Second inning action, and the first thing we noticed, Ben, is that catcher Matthew Gonzalez is back out for Banning, so that's a good sign. Whatever happened there at the end of that last play on Xavier Allen's at-bat, maybe he was on the follow-through, dropping the bat, might have hit the catcher. Gonzalez is back in there. That's great to see.
Yeah, shaking around his ankle a little bit, so we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that, but he seems to be good. He's moving around pretty well. Throwdown was perfect, so I think that's what you want to see if you're Banning.
Noah Sandoval, Chris Sinclair, and Isaac Hernandez, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the order for Carson, coming up here in the top of the second to face Anthony Camarena. Left-hander delivers. That pitch is inside, ball 1 to Sandoval, a .233 hitter on the year. Camarena's 1-0 is ripped to center field. It's going to go over the head of Sanchez and heading to second base for the second extra base hit of the game. This time leading off an inning, Noah Sandoval with a double.
Oh, what a beautiful piece of hitting there from Sandoval. Got that first inside fastball, a little too inside, and that second pitch is exactly where Camarena wanted the first one. But Sandoval was ready for that high inside and absolutely smacked it to center field over Sanchez's head. But good job on the part of Sanchez to not let that roll too far and keep Sandoval to a double because that's what he was getting no matter what.
Yeah, that's something that Coach LaVere mentioned. He said when we played here last year, one of the things our outfielders had to deal with is the ball at a high school field, it'll hit the outfield grass and roll to a stop. Here at Dodger Stadium, it just keeps going. So you really have to work on your angles. As here's Chris Sinclair showing bunt, and he is going to take a pitch high for ball 1. This is that small ball that we talked about Banning likes to employ. Carson does as well. And even though Sinclair, a .312 hitter with 2 home runs on the year, they're looking to runs being at a premium in this championship game, seeing if they can get Sandoval to third base, maybe with a bunt. Let's see if he squares again. Sinclair is going to square. The bunt is going to be foul. Third base coach for Carson is Josh Cole. He's given the signs down there. Over at first base is Salvador Ramos. Sinclair with a long look at Coach Cole. Angelo Duarte way in at first base. Nakazawa is keeping an eye on the runner at second. This bunt is towards the third baseman. It's going to be a foot race, and I think they got him. Yes! Wow. Nakazawa heads up play, and there's one down.
I mean, beautiful heads-up play by Nakazawa. Recognized that the bunt was coming straight at him and hard. That was pretty much a line drive from Sinclair. And he recognized that the runner was that Sandoval was only halfway to third. So he just drop stepped, ran right into him, got the tag on him, and that's a beautiful play and sets up the double play nicely for Banning.
You know, Sinclair was doing the right thing, trying to push it to the third baseman, make him commit. Maybe you get a situation where Nakazawa hesitates, but the bunt, you're right, Ben, was just too hard.
Yeah.
It was a one-hopper right to Nakazawa on the grass. And here's a strike taken by the designated hitter, Isaac Hernandez, who's batting 167 on the season. Now this definitely changes the equation for Carson. They've got Sinclair over at first base on the fielder's choice. Hernandez, long look again at Coach Cole down at third base. Damian Ruvalcaba on deck. That's going to be a slow roller that's topped foul down the third base line, and the count 0-2. Well, Ben, defense wins championships, and that was a big play. I mean, if you get a runner at third with one out in a game where, two teams have not put up a bunch of runs against each other, you got to anticipate it's going to be a low-scoring game. Keeping guys from being 90 feet away from home plate could pay big dividends. Here's the 0-2, swing and a miss, snap throw down to first, and diving back in safely is Sinclair. Gonzalez, great throw. There are 2 down on the strikeout.
I mean, great bounce back by Camarena and Banning. I mean, leadoff double to start the inning. You get the guy out on the bunt, and then a strikeout to get to 2 outs. Really sets up Banning nicely to put 0 up on the inning.
Ruvalcaba, the batter, 250 on the year. He's got a homer, as does James Markle, the on-deck hitter for Carson. So a little bit of power sprinkled around this lineup. We've seen 2 extra base hits so far. Here is a swing and a miss from Ruvalcaba, strike 1. Ruvalcaba, I'll look at Coach Cole. Not likely that Sinclair is going to be in motion here, but there he goes. But we've got a foul ball, so after I said Sinclair not likely to be in motion, immediately proves me wrong, and then has to come back to the bag.
I think he heard you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You don't think I can steal a base? Watch this.
He was there. That was a great jump.
See if Sinclair goes again or if Camarena might throw over one time. Everyone's going to hold their spots. This one's fouled back into the netting. It'll stay 0-2. And we mentioned the Banning band was here with cheerleaders. Carson's band and cheerleaders are here as well.
Yeah. I didn't see those in that first inning.
No, I think they came in just after the start of the inning.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-2. Runner on the move. That pitch is a ball. Throw down to second base.
Oh,
what a play.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
I mean, beautiful throw from Gonzalez. Herrera over there at second, a little bit late of a jump to second base, but got there, a perfect throw, and just applied the tag. Looks super easy, but we know it was anything far from that.
Yeah, that was just gathering himself at second base, Herrera, kind of sliding to a stop and then putting the tag down. It could have been easy for his momentum to carry him across the bag, but he makes the play, and we've completed 1.5 here at Dodger Stadium. No score with Banning coming up right after this.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail. Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously. Yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials across the country because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The action's happening at your Ford dealer, and Ford's action heroes are ready to perform. Our F-Series, our Mustang Mach-E, and our Ford Bronco. With your trade-in, lease an F-150 Super Crew STX for a low $399 a month.
Banning is going to send Daniel Sanchez, Brandon Villarreal, and Ethan Camejo to the plate here in the bottom of the second inning. As some outstanding defensive work by the Pilots in the top of the second limits Carson's opportunities. They got a leadoff double, did the Colts, but that was eliminated on a great play at third base by Nakazawa, Jared Nakazawa, with a nice play down there to get the lead runner. And then Matthew Gonzalez combining with A.J. Herrera for caught stealing at second base to end the top of the second. Here is Dorado's first pitch in the air to left center field and fairly deep, but tracking it down is Sinclair for the first out. One pitch, one away in the bottom of the second inning, and that brings up Brandon Villarreal.
Yeah, that's one of the things Coach Levere talked about before the game. I mean, we mentioned what does a good Banning game look like when they're hitting every cylinder and making and doing all the little things right. And he said good D and good pitching. Those were the two things. They're a very defense-heavy team, but timely hitting was also part of the reason to their success. So I think seeing some timely hitting here coming up in these next couple of innings, maybe after you've gone through the lineup once or twice, is definitely a possibility.
Dorado's first pitch here is right down the heart of the plate for a strike.
Yeah, I think Villarreal was taking all the way there.
Dorado gave up just one hit. That was with 2 outs, a single, and then promptly got out of that with a pop out to shortstop in the first inning. The 0-1 is going to be laced into right field. That's down the line for a base hit, and looking for 2 is Villarreal. It gets into the corner. Villarreal is going to try for 3, and he's going to get in with a 1-out triple. Well, that's a little bit of that outfield we talked about. Ruvalcaba trying to track the ball down in the corner, but the ball doesn't stick at Dodger Stadium like it might at a high school field, and it rolled all the way into the right field corner.
Yeah, first triple of the year for Villarreal, and that's just a nice piece of hitting going inside out on a fastball from the lefty, catching it out in front of the plate, making sure your barrel stays through the zone, going down the right field line. And that's that timely hitting right there I just talked about. And Banning with Camejo coming up, great opportunity to go up 1-0.
Looking to get even a more timely hit than that triple here as Camejo's going to take a strike.
Nice breaking ball there from Dorado.
Yeah, that ball ended up almost in the dirt, but it crossed the plate with some late break. So Camejo batting .241 on the year, takes strike 1. The infield's playing back, so they're willing to give up a run here is Carson on a ball somewhere up the middle. Here's a pitch. That is great placement and just off the plate. Fantastic take by Camejo on 0-1, and the count evens at 1-1. They're playing Camejo to pull, except for the left fielder, Xavier Allen, who's playing closer to the line, as is the third baseman, Markle. Dorado, his pitch. Swing and a miss as Camejo looked like he was trying to elevate something into North Hollywood. That was quite a healthy cut.
Yeah, if Dorado can get the strikeout here, that would be huge. And infield's going to come in now.
Not a bad idea with 2 strikes. The 1-2. Curveball. Caught him looking. Huge strikeout for Dorado, and they're 2 down. What a pitch.
I mean, that's just a great pitch. Great tunneling use from Dorado. That first curveball just right down the heart of the plate a little low. You throw that same pitch on the last one, and he's thinking, oh, he's trying to get me to bite, trying to get me to chase outside the zone, but it catches the edge, and a great frame from Barajas behind the plate.
Here is Isaac Martinez, the shortstop, the 8th hitter in the order for the Pilots, batting .232. Infield's now a regular depth. First pitch in there for a strike at the knees. Dorado is locked in since that triple. I mean, He is pinpoint on his accuracy. Exactly where he wants the ball to go, that's where it's going on these last couple of hitters. Center fielder Sinclair playing shallow in center. Here is a slow hopper to the second baseman. The throw to first in time. Nice play by the freshman Ruan. And Carson dodges a little bit of a jam here in the bottom of the second inning. They strand the runner at third after the one-out triple by Villarreal. We've completed 2 at Dodger Stadium. No score in this Division I championship game in the CIF LA City section.
No business being out there.
You know, I'm a person too.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
The action's happening at your Ford dealer, and Ford's action heroes are ready to perform. Our F-Series, our Mustang Mach-E, and our Ford Bronco. With your trade-in, lease a Ford Bronco Sport for a low $299 a month.
We move to the top of the third inning. No score in this one. Banning set to pitch to Carson here in the top half of the inning, and turn it over to the play-by-play for innings 3, 4, and 5. My partner, Ben Kurtz. Ben?
Thank you, Jeff. Carson coming up, a little bit of fire under their belt here. They'll send Ruvalcaba, Markel, and Ruan to the plate. Camarena's first pitch is a fastball right down the heart of the plate for strike one. Ruvalcaba saw 3 pitches from Camarena, his first at-bat. He will come up again as Sinclair was caught stealing with a great throw from Matthew Gonzalez. Next pitch just outside, another fastball. Count evens at 1-1.
Been really impressed, Ben, through the first couple innings with these pitchers' control. I mean, their pinpoint accuracy, even that pitch a little bit off the plate, but exactly where Camarena wanted to put it.
1-1 is popped up, shallow left center field. Sanchez says he has it, and he does. 1 down in the top of the third inning.
Yeah, both of these pitchers it hasn't been clean living so far. I mean, they've had a couple of situations where they've had guys in scoring position, and the defense for both teams has been outstanding. That play by Ruan to end the bottom of the second inning was just fantastic. If he misplays that, that's a run for Banning, and he got it on a second hop and made a nice throw over to first base in plenty of time. So, yeah. Nice job to end that one.
Carson sends up James Markel, batting .257 on the year. He'll look at strike one on the outside corner from Camarena. And Gonzalez with a nice frame there. He seems to be doing better. I think it was his ankle that was bugging him earlier in the game after the Xavier Allen at bat. That's a base hit up the middle. Hard hit from James Markel, his first hit of the game and his first at bat.
Well, nice productivity out of the 9 spot. That's the first hit of the game for Carson, Ben, that hasn't been for extra bases.
Yeah.
And now you've got the top of the order coming up and guys who can put their bat on the ball. Ruan struck out looking in his first at bat, but came into the game batting .380, so you know he can put the ball in play.
Still no score here, top of the third inning. Both teams have had chances with the runners in scoring position in the second inning. Camarena's first pitch, inside corner, strike one on the fastball. Ruan on 5 pitches struck out looking in his last at bat, but he's looking to put the ball in play, get the runner over, possibly a bunt. Putting on here by Carson.
I mean, he would be a candidate.
Yeah. Top of the zone, another fastball, strike 2. So that bunt's now off the table. Nakazama, though, never really came in. He sort of stayed where he is now. That's kind of playing back even with the cutout of the grass. 0-2. Ground ball, second base. Herrera is going to tag the runner and throw to first. Throw is offline. Nice play by A.J. Herrera, but almost getting the double play by himself. And a fielder's choice gives 2 outs to Carson and Banning.
That was a heck of a play.
Yeah.
I mean, he made the tag and did a 360 to make the throw on the pivot and almost got the runner just a little bit offline. I mean, I feel like if I did a 360 pivot, I probably would have crashed into a wall in the middle of the field. I mean, that's just a remarkable bit of
There goes
work.
Ruan. Throw down from Gonzalez. Got him. Oh, Gonzalez has been perfect. 2 throwdowns, 2 caught stealings. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, still no score, and some great defense from Banning throughout this game.
I would encourage people to take college classes while they're still in high school because most dual enrollment classes are free.
Get a head start at a California community college. With dual enrollment, earn college credits while you're still in high school.
Dual enrollment is such an important thing and lifesaver.
If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Check with your high school or community college counselor today. Save money and earn your college degree faster.
There's a lot of things in this world that will get in your way, but there's nothing that you cannot do.
Enroll now at icangotocollege.com.
The action's happening at your Ford dealer, and Ford's action heroes are ready to perform. Our F-Series, our Mustang Mach-E, and our Ford Bronco. With your trade-in, you can lease a Ford Bronco for a low $399 a month.
Back with you on the NFHS Network. City Section Division I Finals coming at you. Carson now back on defense in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And Dorado back on the mound. So far, through 2 strikeouts, 2 hits, no runs, and no walks either. He has been around the plate, and he has been very good so far through 2 innings. And he's looking to shut down Matthew Gonzalez, the 9-hitter, batting .214. He'll lead off the inning. And then it'll be the top of the lineup in Pedro Ibanez-Eddy, and then A.J. Herrera.
Yeah, these first 2.5 innings, Ben, have been really fun. I mean, it's not been hitters getting dominated. We've had 3 extra base hits, 2 doubles for Carson, a triple for Banning. But then defenses have stepped up and made plays. I mean, you had the great defensive play by A.J. Herrera last inning to get a lead runner and put in a 2-out situation. Then Matthew Gonzalez, the catcher for Banning, has thrown out 2 base runners so far. Just remarkable.
Yeah. It's a very fun game to watch so far. First pitch to Gonzalez, just outside and off speed.
And the pitchers have done a nice job too. I mean, they've been in pressure situations and made some big pitches in tough spots.
Yeah, I've been impressed with how Dorado has been attacking the zone so far this game. Second pitch fouled off right side of the field up into the second deck.
Yeah, Gonzalez this year batting .214, but you can see why Coach Levere likes him in the lineup because his ability to throw out base runners has been really good in this game.
Now he's going to sky one shallow right field towards the line, and Ruvalcaba over to make the catch. And 3 pitches, 1 out for Dorado. He's looking to go far in this game because Carson doesn't have their full rotation available.
Yeah, they're down a player to injury, and then they lost another one just because he threw too many pitches earlier in the week. So, Pedro Ibanez-Eddy, Ben, sorry to interrupt there really quickly, but, I had an 8-pitch at-bat. He struck out, but an 8-pitch at-bat to get things going. But that's the longest so far anybody has gone against Dorado in a single at-bat in terms of pitches.
It was a great start for Banning, and it was just a beautiful at-bat. Even though he struck out, still a lot of pitches, and still that's what you want to do if you're Banning, is get Dorado's pitch count up as much as you can.
Yeah, and Dorado's been pretty economical since.
Yeah. I mean, no at-bat after that going over 4 pitches. That catches the outside corner, a fastball after a high ball 1. 1-1 the count.
The other thing that Dorado's done a really good job is he's retired the leadoff hitter in every inning.
Yeah. Very, very aggressive around the zone. 1-1. Tipped back right behind home plate. No one right behind home plate, though. That VIP section closed off to
just our,
Carson and Banning fans.
The only guy who's down there is our Max Preps social media and video guy, Aaron Plunkett, is down there. He didn't even flinch.
Another fouled off fastball from Ibanez Eddie. That one a little bit off the plate. Could have been ball 2, but definitely too close to take.
Aaron is showing how much of a veteran he is to baseball and high school sports generally, because that's the second foul ball straight back, and he didn't even move.
Nope.
He's locked in.
He's just right there.
He is locked in down there.
Ibanez Eddie calling time. Long look from Dorado into his catcher, Fernandez Barajas, who hasn't had a chance to throw someone out yet. They've had one single so far from Jared Nakazama, but he did not go. 1-2. High fly ball into right field. And making the catch once again is Ruvalcaba. 2 outs, both to right field.
Nice job by Dorado, keeping anybody from really getting good contact this inning.
Yeah, a lot of weak contact.
Just really Villarreal. I mean, Nakazawa's ball was pretty well hit up the middle, but that triple by Villarreal, even that one, it wasn't a shot. It just got further down the line and tailed away from Ruvalcaba.
Here's A.J. Herrera. Flew out to center field his first time up. He'll take a breaking ball low and outside for ball 1. 2 down in the inning. Banning looking to extend it a little bit. And not that many pitches so far for Dorado. 8 so far this inning. 1-0 outside, ball 2.
Maybe just a little bit high as well. But again, that's not a... I mean, boy, you live with that pitch if your coach... If your coach Kunipo Aguirre, because that's a good location for a miss.
Oh, big swing from Herrera. 2-2 now. Excuse me, no, 2-1 the count.
That ball was almost in the exact same spot, Ben, as the previous pitch. That's just a good setup. You're off the plate, but not by much. It makes the hitter think that, hey, this one might be over.
2-1 liner, back up the middle, a base hit. Nice piece of 2-1 hitting from A.J. Herrera, and the inning goes on for the Pilots.
Third hit of the game for Banning. Second time they've gotten a single with 2 outs. The first time was from the guy coming to the plate, Jared Nakazawa.
Nakazawa coming up, great spot for Banning once again. Another runner on base. They've had at least one on base each inning.
And you're getting into the heart of the order here,
so
Dorado's just got to be careful.
Quick throw over, probably not the best move he has, but just to check on him, let him know he's aware that Herrera's over there at first base.
One of the things that Dorado does too is he's on the side of the rubber. From the center field cam, he's to the far left, and that puts him even closer to first base. If he wants to do a pick play over there, he's got a few more inches. A lot of guys, if you look at Camarena, he's setting up middle of the rubber or maybe to the right as you're facing home plate, whereas Dorado's to the far left.
Dorado's 1-0. High, ball 2, 2-0, and Barajas going to call time and walk out to him.
Yeah, well, and it's a situation now where you've got a guy with good speed over at at first base in Herrera, and now Dorado is rushing his delivery to home plate.
Yeah.
So his arm isn't getting into the right arm slot, and the ball's sailing high. And I think Barajas, recognizing that, went out to have a quick conversation.
Herrera, no stolen bases on the year, but only 9 total for Banning. So it's not, they don't try to swipe second base too often, but they will do it every once in a while.
Yeah, Stuart Garcia, the first base coach, keeping Herrera active, and Joe Signs flashing the signs over at third for Banning.
That's outside, 3-0. Dorado wanted the call but he didn't get it. 3-0 the count on Nakazama. Angelo Duarte on deck. 3-0. Fastball exactly where it needed to be. Strike one.
Yeah, Nakazawa taking that one all the way. I mean, that's a definite take situation on 3-0 there. Get a free pass, get a runner in scoring position, sure. Take a strike, you still got 2 to work with.
The 3-1 fouled back into the screen right behind home plate.
Now, Ben, this is going to change things for the defense because with 2 outs and a full count, Herrera's going to be in motion. And so really your play as an infielder, unless it's a line drive right to you, you're not going to get the out at second base. You got to be thinking first base is where the play is going to be.
First base all the way. There goes, Nakazama, and he skies it into right center field, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. Dorado gets out of a small jam, runner on first, and that's where he ends up when the inning is over. 3 flyouts, 3 outs for Carson. They'll come back up. Top of the 4th inning coming to you on the NFHS Network. Top of the 4th inning coming at you on the NFHS Network. Camarena back on the mound for Banning, and up for Carson is Juno Carrillo, who flew out on 4 pitches to right field in foul territory. That's Ibanez Eddie over there in right field, and he'll take a strike on the outside corner.
He took a strike as well, Ben, on that last pitch of the 3rd inning when Gonzalez threw out his second base runner.
That pitch skied right center field. Ibanez Eddie says he has it, and he does. And a quick 1 out for Camarena once again. He's been very efficient so far in this game. Only 1 at-bat going 5 pitches. Everything else has been below it.
Yeah, he's been really good. I mean, you can see, again, we're relying on the entries of coaching staffs in terms of the statistics on max preps, but a 0 ERA coming in, Ben, is just phenomenal. In 47-plus innings, he's just extending that here.
Fernandez Barajas down the line. That's hard hit, and that's a base hit. Villarreal getting to it and getting it in quickly. That'll hold Barajas to a single. But a nice piece of hitting. First pitch, he jumped on Camarena, who left a off speed over the middle of the plate and just poked it into left field.
Yeah, it's Barajas' second hit, and both in the same spot, Ben. The first one was down the line on the ground past a diving Nakazawa, but this one here into the left field line. Nice job by Villarreal hustling over there and cutting it off and keeping it to just a 1 base for Barajas.
Here's a dangerous hitter in Xavier Allen, the 4 spot for Carson. His first pitch, he skies it in the infield. Martinez says he has it and will make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning and hold Barajas at first base.
Well, you could see Allen just missed that ball.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a major league pop-up, and he was trying to send it into the left field bleachers. A good, healthy cut there, but 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, here's Noah Sandoval, who has one of the 4 hits so far for Carson, a double back in the second inning, and was cut down at third on a bunt. Camarena's first pitch, another pop-up, this time shallow left field, and calling off Martinez is Villarreal, and that'll be the third out. So 5 pitches for Camarena, and that will be the top of the 4th inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Banning looking to put up some runs, still 0-0 our score.
This is heart. This is pride. This is community. This is high school football.
Bottom of the 4th inning coming to you from the NFHS Network. 0-0 still our score. Banning is going to send up Angelo Duarte, Daniel Sanchez, and Brandon Villarreal. And they're looking to get a lead, and it's been a shutout from both pitchers so far in this game.
Though each pitcher has yielded a hit in every inning they've thrown so far. There have been base runners on. It's just been some good pitching and then some fantastic defense by both of these teams so far has been the difference. In fact, talking to Coach Kunipo Aguirre for Carson beforehand, Ben, you asked him a really great question, which is in the games that you lost to Banning, what did in that? Mm-hmm. Was it just, did it get away from you? He said, no, we made a mistake. And then it kind of unraveled.
Yeah.
And with a younger team, that's something you got to keep an eye on, is that morale stays up and that one mistake doesn't kill you. You're still in the game. And with not a lot of seniors on the roster, that's something Carson's been working on. But obviously, since that point in time, they've put a lot together, winning 17 of their last 21 games. So it's a good turnaround. But so far, so good here for the Colts defensively.
Yeah, no mistakes so far, no errors. Angelo Duarte taking a pitch inside for ball 1. But Dorado has been around the zone so far, as that pitch is in the zone, but fouled off by Duarte, 1-1.
Yeah, both pitchers have been really good. Camarena and Dorado have painted the corners. If they've wanted to miss, they've missed just a little bit. It hasn't been a lot, and that helps the umpires too. You might get a call if you miss by just an inch or just a little bit, half inch, and then you come in next time.
Grounded to third. Markel over to first. Nice throw. Beautiful play by James Markel. 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah, nice play by Markel going to his backhand side, then not rushing the throw. The ball got there pretty quickly. He was able to plant that right foot and get a nice throw over to Sandoval at first base. But going back to my previous point, Ben, if you miss 6 inches, a foot, your catcher's having to jump to get a ball, and then you try to nibble the corner, sometimes pitchers at the high school level get mad, like, how come I didn't get that call? Well, you're giving the umpire a foot and a half where you're trying to work and then you're trying to paint. That doesn't work. But if you miss by just a little and then you come back and paint, you'll get that call. And both pitchers have been very effective in their misses here today.
Yeah, both of them have been around the zone so far. That's outside corner, a fastball, strike 1. Here's Daniel Sanchez, who flew out on 1 pitch to center field in Sinclair to lead off the 2nd inning.
Once again, another leadoff batter retired by Dorado. 4 innings. He's done that every time.
Yeah, that ball's crushed right field, but Ruvalcaba has a beat on it, and he makes a nice catch to his forehand side for the second out.
Yeah, tracked that down very well. You know, one of the things we noticed, Ben, here at Dodger Stadium, and you don't deal with this in Dodger games because the stands are pretty full.
Yeah.
But the yellow chairs and the background can make it tough to pick up the baseball. We noticed that just in infield practice when teams were doing their in and outs. And you've got light coloring on the first 2 decks that you don't notice during Dodger games when all the seats are taken. So looked like for a minute Ruvalcaba was fighting that.
Here's Brandon Villarreal, who has the only extra base hit for the Pilots. He looks at ball 1 outside. And a nice piece of hitting from him his last time up. Stopped at third base to end, at the end of the second inning. He was stranded at third.
After that triple into the right field corner with 1 out. Looked like a prime opportunity, but some good defense by Carson and a timely strikeout from Dorado.
1-1 is smacked into right field, a base hit. His second of the day. Villarreal is 2 for 2.
Boy, it's impressive. Banning's hitters not afraid to go the other way. A lot of guys will try to pull the ball, and then you hit a weak grounder to the left side. But at the high school level, more and more you're seeing a lot of effective hitters taking the ball to the opposite field and not trying to do too much with it, hitting the ball where it's pitched. Nice job there by Villarreal, who's gone to the right side both times with a lot of success.
Here's Ethan Camejo, struck out looking on 4 pitches his first time up. He is going to take a nice swing, but just out in front of it, a off-speed pitch from Dorado, and he kind of end-capped that one. And it dribbled toward his own dugout. One thing you'll notice from these two teams, though, is that all of the players are up on the top step. You won't see anyone except the hitters down on that bottom level.
Yeah, everybody's into the game.
Oh, a nice pickoff move from Dorado. Kind of got Villarreal out in front, but it was that small lead, I think, helped him dive back.
Yeah, he was leaning towards second base. Almost got caught flat-footed.
Yeah, that's kind of that looks like Dorado's best move, and now we've seen it. 0-1 is high. Excuse me, the 1-1 was high, ball 2.
No, you were right.
No, I was right the first time.
Yeah,
okay.
you were. Don't second-guess yourself. You were on it.
Dorado's 1-1. No, he's going to throw over to first, and he's going to get him. What a move by Anthony Dorado. He cuts down Brandon Villarreal on his second attempt for the third out of the inning. We go to the top of the 5th. Carson looking to build off that momentum. It's still no score in the Division I Finals.
Our number one priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools to protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football. This is heart. This is pride. This is community. This is high school football.
Top of the 5th coming at you on the NFHS network. Still no score from Banning and Carson. We see Coming up to the plate for Carson, it will be Chris Sinclair. Yeah, Chris Sinclair, Isaac Hernandez, and Damian Ruvalcaba. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters coming up for Carson. It'll be James Markell after that, and then the top of the lineup in Nate Ruan.
Yeah, the defense in this game with these two teams, just fantastic through 4 innings. We've had a base hit from each team in every inning, and then we've had runners either held in place or eliminated through great catcher work. Gonzalez has thrown out 2 guys, and then there, Dorado picking off his first base runner of the game.
Camarena's first pitch inside corner, strike 1 on Sinclair, who got to first on a fielder's choice, but then was caught stealing by Gonzalez, one of his victims. Camarena out of the windup, the 0-1. Grounded back up the middle, but a nice glove work by Camarena. An underhand throw to Duarte at first, 1 out in the top of the 5th inning.
I'll tell you what, Ben, Camarena's got some great chill.
Very lax on that play.
I mean, he just nice job, gets it over, doesn't rush. All of his pitches, he just looks very comfortable out there. I mean, it's like he pitches at Dodger Stadium every 5th day.
Now here's Isaac Hernandez, struck out swinging on 3 pitches his first time up. Camarena's first pitch to him, top of the zone, strike 1.
Given the state of the Dodgers pitching staff and their injured list situation, they may want to consider Camarena.
Yeah. I mean, a 0 ERA.
Just pitching home games?
Yeah. He looks pretty comfortable out there. That pitch is grounded to third. Nakazawa over to first. 2 down.
I mean, with the efficiency, Camarena, I don't know if he's got a brunch date here at 11:30 or noon, but he's pitching like we're going to cruise right through this thing.
Yeah, 4 pitches so far for Camarena. And here is Damian Ruvalcaba. Ruvalcaba went up to the plate in the first inning, but that caught stealing on Sinclair brought him up again in the second, where he flew out to center field as he takes a fastball on the outside corner. Great placement from Camarena, 0-1.
I mean, the efficiency right now from Camarena is just outstanding.
That ball is slapped the other way, just foul down the left field line.
Ben, this is the 7th batter that Camarena has faced. And it's the first time he's going to throw a 3rd pitch on a batter in the last 8.
Wow.
You have to go all the way back to the 3rd inning. Ruan saw 3 pitches, and now Ruvalcaba is going to see 3 pitches. 6 guys have come to the plate since, and all of them out or finished their at-bat in less than 2 pitches.
Camareno's 0-2. Fouled off again. Nice piece of hitting there by Ruvalcaba just to poke that one foul, see if he can get a better pitch to drive. But you got to think maybe Coach Kanipo Aguirre for Carson tries to switch up his tactic here, maybe tells him to take a couple pitches if it's not exactly where they want it.
I mean, Camarena hasn't gone 3 balls on anybody in this game.
We'll do the 0-2 again. Grounded to short. Martinez. A nice piece of glove work. Throw to first. Got him by a half step. 1, 2, 3 goes Camarena. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Still no score in the LA City Section Division I Finals.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
One second from half court.
Jumping for joy.
First ever.
A 2-on-1. Oh,
did he bring it in? He did.
It is.
action's happening at your Ford dealer, and Ford's action heroes are ready to perform. Our F-Series, America's best-selling trucks with superpowers only Ford can offer. Our Mustang Mach-E with electrifying performance that blasts past gas stations. And our Ford Bronco, rugged enough to conquer any terrain. Don't miss the action. With your trade-in, lease an F-150 Super Crew STX for a low $399 a month.
Bottom of the 5th inning coming to you on the NFHS network. Still no score, 0-0 between Banning and Carson. We'll see Anthony Dorado go out there for his 5th inning of work. No runs so far for either pitcher, and a 1-2-3 for Camarena in his last inning. And just some great pitching from Dorado and Camarena. I mean, just hitting their spots every opportunity they can. And they're not going for strikeouts either. Not many strikeouts for either pitcher, but they're getting soft, weak contact. But one hard hit ball at least every inning, except for Camarena last inning, went 1-2-3. And they've been able to get out of it and help their defense get some easy outs.
Yeah, first time Camarena hasn't given up a hit in an inning, but boy, he's been working very efficiently, and Dorado's been matching him as well.
Here is Ethan Camejo coming back up for the second time in 2 innings. That's a shallow pop-up in no man's land, but a nice play by Juno Carrillo, backpedaling and making the catch. And 1 pitch, 1 out for Anthony Dorado.
I mean, Carrillo's not even the starting shortstop this year. He's only in the game at shortstop because of the injury to Josiah Agredano. So the fact that he's making that play at Dodger Stadium, and really only the second time he's been asked to start at shortstop this year in a key situation, it's pretty remarkable. Nice play to get that first out of the inning. And once again, Ben, Dorado has eliminated the leadoff hitter from getting on base to start an inning. He has yet to put the leadoff guy aboard in any inning.
Isaac Martinez up now for the Pilots. He'll take strike 1 down the middle. He grounded out to second base on 2 pitches last time up, and he's going to foul one towards us, but doesn't have the height. 0-2 now.
You sounded disappointed.
A little bit.
You looked like you were going to make a play.
I wanted to make the play. I'm ready. Barajas on the outside part of the plate. That pitch was inside, though. Grounded to Ruan once again, and Isaac Martinez grounds out by the way of the second baseman for the second time today.
Yeah, Ruan's made both plays on Martinez.
And now Matthew Gonzalez, the catcher, flew out to right field. Ruvalcaba's first time up. Four pitches so far for Dorado this inning. First pitch swinging and fouling it down the line and out of play. Out of the stretch, Dorado's 0-1. Line to shortstop, but right to Carrillo. That ball was barreled by Gonzalez, but right to Carrillo. A great piece of hitting. Bottom of the 5th inning is in the books. 2 innings left to go in the Division I LA City Section Finals. 2 pitches.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail. Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials across the country because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
at your Ford dealer, and Ford's action heroes are ready to perform. Our F-Series, our Mustang Mach-E, and our Ford Bronco. With your trade-in, lease an F-150 Super Crew STX for a low $399 a month.
Top of the 6th inning with you on the NFHS Network, and I'm going to toss it back for the last 2 innings to my partner, Jeff Kurtz. Jeff, take it away.
Now we got 2 more innings of regulation baseball, but right now we got a scoreless game through 5, as it will be James Markell, Nate Ruan, and Juno Carrillo, the 9-1 and 2 hitters in the order for the Carson Colts here in the top of the 6th, to face Anthony Camarena, who has been rolling along here in this game. Here's a first pitch, though, base hit to right center for Markell. So you got the leadoff man aboard.
His second hit of the day.
Yep. Second time you've had a leadoff man aboard for Carson in this one, and that'll put some things in motion for the Carson coaching staff as a single to center. And you got to think Nate Ruan, the freshman, despite the fact that he's a 380 hitter coming into the game today, this screams for a bunt.
Yeah, not his best day today. He's 0 for 2. Struck out looking with a fielder's choice and caught stealing. But you have to think that Carson is going to put a bunt on here. And
well, we may have a pinch runner.
Yeah, Coach Kunipo Aguirre coming out to talk to our home plate umpire.
Let's see who they're going to send out. Markell gets on. And then our base runner is grabbed by Salvador Ramos, the first base coach, just for a conversation. Now everyone's going to start talking to everybody else. You've got Coach Cole talking to Ruan. You've got Gonzalez coming out to talk to Nakazawa and Camarena about a bunt situation. We've got our mystery runner over at first base. Trying to track that down for you. It's like Jake Torres is getting the call.
Yeah, so the senior coming up and coming on base for Markell.
So Torres over at first. We got the left-hander Camarena, who's going to take a look at him and deliver. And Ruan's not going to bunt at all. He's going to foul it off. Didn't even show. They like his bat control. And with Torres a little bit more speed over at first base than Markell, you got the outfield shading to right. Big gap in left center and into the left field corner, with the left fielder Villarreal playing pretty much straight away, but the center fielder Sanchez is shifted over. Now showing bunt. You've got a slap throw down from Gonzalez to first base after almost a pitch out, and back in safely is Torres. The count 1-1. Sometimes you can get the runner going a little too early, thinking the bunt's going to get down, and pitching out, not a bad idea when you're already ahead in the count.
Yeah, Torres over there really has to see that bunt down. You can't get too far off the bag because Gonzalez has already thrown 2 guys out at second base. He can definitely make that throw down to first.
Ruan showing early. Nakazawa's cheating way in. The bunt down first base side. Great bunt. Camarena is going to miss the tag, and then safe at first is Ruan. Camarena tried to tag him, tossed to first, and Duarte couldn't handle it. Down to second goes Torres, and you got runners at first and second for the Colts. First mistake of the game by this fantastic Banning defense. Got to think we're going to have an error in there somewhere.
Yeah, that was a great bunt by Ruan. Give him his credit, but Camarena missing the tag. You got to think initially that you just go to the bag straight away, even if you are that close to Ruan.
And now everyone's going to huddle up. They're going to rule that a hit, Ben, an infield single.
Okay.
So just the foot speed of the freshman Ruan, getting him down the line on the bunt attempt. Fantastic bunt. Steered it away from third base, right down the line. Camarena got there, and I think if he had just gone to first base straight away,
he would have gotten it out, yeah.
But he tried to make the tag and just misjudged Ruan's foot speed. So now you got runners at first and second for Juno Carrillo, who is flied out to right field twice, 0 for 2. But again, this is a screaming for a bunt.
Yeah.
To put runners at second and third with 1 out. with the 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up. Gonzalez looking for the call from Coach Levere.
Yeah, and you got to think going into this game as Banning, as a pilot, you need to know that Ruan is the fastest guy on the team. He's got 24 stolen bases, and he is not afraid to just haul down the line.
Carrillo's going to square. The bunt down third baseline. Great bunt, but will roll foul. Now, the last time there was a bunt down the third base line, it was a hard hit bunt, and Nakazawa was able to get the ball and tag out the runner heading to third base. That was after the leadoff double by Sandoval. It was Sinclair who was trying to get the bunt down, and he just bunted it too hard. But Carrillo and Ruan, guys who can handle the bat pretty well. Not to say that Sinclair can't. That was a pretty good bunt. It was just too hard. But these guys with a softer touch so far. Cheating in at first base is Duarte. Nakazawa just in on the grass. This pitch is up and in for a ball, and the count evens at 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, perfect play for some small ball here. This is exactly what you expect Carson to do. As if you're Banning, you expect them to bunt here. You expect them to put on some kind of play.
Here's the square. The bunt down third. Foul again. And Carrillo's got 2 strikes. So now, Ben, the equation changes a little bit. If you're Carrillo, you're trying to punch the ball to the right-hand side if you can.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have him try to bunt again. Right now, Duarte is not as far in as he was at first base, but he's still on the grass, and Nakazawa is also over at third. Outfield is shading to right. Second baseman Herrera way into the hole on that right-hand side. And now time called at home plate by Carrillo. I mean, Carrillo has flied out to right twice, once in the first inning and then in the fourth. Short lead for Torres over at second base. Here's the pitch. Right side. And it's a line drive to the right fielder and a quick throw to second base by Ibanez Eddie. But Torres is back. They don't get the force. There is one down.
That's a great swing by Carrillo. Don't hang your head there. That's just right to Ibanez Eddie in right field. A great piece of hitting, exactly what you want to do in that situation. Just if he didn't barrel it as much, honestly, it sounds crazy to say, that would have dropped in for a base hit.
And here's Barajas, who's 2 for 2 on the day with a double and a single, both down the line and left. One on the ground just past third base, and the other a line drive into left field for a single. And this time he's going to go to right field, and it's going to be foul into the netting. 0-1. Yeah, I don't think Barajas here is the 3-hitter. With the success he's had against Camarena in this game, he's not going to bunt here.
No, absolutely not.
And neither is Xavier Allen, who has flied out twice, once to right and once to short, but has had some good swings. The 0-1. Down 1-1.
Yeah, I don't know if you probably can't hear it on the mic, but we talked to Coach Kunipo Aguirre before the game, and he said one of the key things was morale, and to keep that up, he has kind of employed some cheers and chants over there in their dugout, and the fans do definitely help. But they have some unique chants down there in the Carson dugout.
Waving some towels as well.
Yeah.
1-1 count on Barajas. Camarena delivers. It's going to be grounded foul down the third base line, and the count is 1-2. Well, Camarena had been breezing through this game. He'd given up a hit in 4 of the 5 innings to this point. But then a leadoff single by Markel. Torres comes in to pinch run. Ruan puts down a bunt and beats it out. Runners at first and second with 1 down. Camarena wants Gonzalez to go through the signs again. A 2-strike count here on Barajas. Punch out would be huge for Camarena here. He's got 2 strikeouts in the game. The delivery is outside, 2-2.
Yeah, you just need, if you're banning any type of weak contact that keeps the runners where they are. first and second is a lot less pressure than second and third, especially if you get that out with 2 outs. That's a lot of the nerves could be rattled if you're Camarena.
Torres a bigger lead over at second base. This pitch just misses. 3-2. What a great take by Barajas. Wow.
Yeah, that didn't look too far outside.
No. Not saying that it was a strike, but boy, that he didn't go fishing on that one. Camarena, I don't think, can believe it. Full count, 1 down. We'll see if the runners are in motion here. I don't know if they will be with just 1 out. They're going to stay put. The pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3 swinging as Barajas didn't fish on the first pitch but went for that one. And there's 2 down in the inning for Xavier Allen. Banning fans come alive. They realize the importance of that strikeout. Third of the game for Anthony Camarena. So here is Xavier Allen, the junior, a .431 hitter on the year, 4 home runs to lead the team. He's had 2 good swings and just missed twice. The first pitch, high in the air, just missed that one. Second baseman Herrera calling for it. He will make the play, and Camarena gets out of it. The Colts get the first 2 runners aboard, but they can't get them past second base. We've completed 5.5 here at Dodger Stadium, moving to the bottom of the 6th inning, and we are scoreless in this CIF LA City Section Division I championship game. Back after this.
You know, I'm a person too.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
The action's happening at your Ford dealer, and Ford's action heroes are ready to perform. Our F-Series, our Mustang Mach-E, and our Ford Bronco. With your trade-in, lease a Ford Bronco Sport for a low $299 a month.
Well, there it sits. The CIF LA City Section Championship. One of these 2 teams going to make history for their school here. But right now we are scoreless into the bottom of the 6th inning, as it will be the top of the order for Banning to lead it off against Anthony Dorado. Pedro Ibanez Eddy 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to right field. To be followed by A.J. Herrera and Jared Nakazawa. So that's a first pitch swing and miss. 0-1 on Ibanez Eddy. Boy, Dorado, after he threw 8 pitches to Ibanez Eddy to strike him out in the first inning, has been cruising along since. But here's a leadoff single, and that is the first time in the game that the leadoff batter in an inning has gotten aboard for the Banning Pilots. Ibanez Eddy with his first hit. 5th of the game for Banning. And here comes A.J. Herrera.
Herrera 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a fly out to center field. He's seen 8 total pitches from Dorado, so you got to think he's got some type of beat on him.
Yep, 1 for 2 today. Fly out to center, single to center. This is a bunt situation. Coach Signs giving the signs down at third base. Colts are going to shift around defensively here. I mean, you want to get a runner into scoring position. And that's only happened once for Banning in the game, and that was on that one-out triple by Villarreal. As Ruan is going to be the guy who's going to cheat in from second base. Usually you've got the first baseman coming in, but they're trying to hold Ibanez-Eddy on the bag to keep him from stealing. So Ruan, the second baseman, is the one who's acting as the first baseman in this situation.
Yeah, it almost seemed like they were just trying to confuse Ibanez-Eddy, having Ruan run in front of him to...
Well, he's coming in again as here's Herrera squaring, and you've had two tosses by Dorado over to first base.
Yeah, you got to think that Carson is trying to take Ibanez-Eddy's attention away from the pitcher and over to Ruan crashing from second.
Boy, Ruan, he's shouting out these signals and signs. This is a freshman out there who's guiding this.
Yeah,
he is playing above his age level. That's
pretty
for sure.
Incredible.
He's going to come in again as Herrera squaring. Here's the pitch. And Herrera pulled back and takes ball one. But he pulled back early there, Ben, almost like he was going to try to slash at the baseball.
Yeah, you got to think a slash is coming if he pulled back that early. The pitch wasn't even thrown.
Real cat and mouse game going on between these two teams right here.
Yeah.
Short lead over at first for Ibanez-Eddy. Here's a slash opportunity, and it's going to work. That's a base hit. Ibanez-Eddy's going to hustle to third base, and he is in sliding head first, and a base hit for Herrera puts runners at the corners.
Wow, just how Banning drew that play up. Herrera with a beautiful knock to right center field on the slash.
Just outstanding execution.
Yeah, that was just perfect. Exactly how you want that play to go. Going first to third is Ibanez-Eddy, and Herrera with just a great piece of hitting right there.
Well, and Ruan came in. The ball went over his head. It landed in the outfield, though. Even if he'd been playing at normal second base depth, he wouldn't have gotten to that ball.
Probably not have gotten that ball.
That's a single either way, but boy, Herrera, just great work with the bat there to put runners at the corners. So Carson's going to call time, and Coach Kunipo Aguirre out to the mound to talk it over because now the defensive situation gets even more tenuous for Carson. With Jared Nakazawa coming to the plate, he's 1 for 2 with a single to center and a fly out to center. Any ball to the outfield right here is going to score Ibanez-Eddy if it's deep enough. And right now you got Sinclair, who's just practicing in the outfield.
Going through the ball. Because watching them warm up their infield, outfield, Sinclair has an arm on him. Most of these outfielders have a very good arm. So it really has to be a deep ball for Ibanez-Eddy to score from third.
Yeah, if the ball is hit to where the outfielders are stationed as of right now, it is going to be a close play at home plate.
Yeah.
And if they can get in front of the ball or behind the ball a little bit to get a good throw, be really interesting. Double play depth up the middle. We'll see if Herrera is in motion. Nakazawa is going to square, and we're going to have a throw to first base. And that was by Dorado, Ben, just doing that to see if he could get the batter to commit one way or the other. Was Nakazawa going to leave the bat out? Is this a pure bunt situation, or is he going to pull back? I don't know if he learned enough in his research there, does Dorado, but he's going to throw back over again. Just kind of testing things out in a scoreless game here at Dodger Stadium. Nakazawa looking to execute. He made a great defensive play in a bunt situation back in the second inning. Now trying to execute offensively. Snap throw to first. Banning fans
letting him hear it.
Yep, they don't like it, but this is good strategy on Carson's part.
Yeah.
Nakazawa gets the signs from Coach Signs, steps into the box. The pitch. Going to be high and away, ball one. Nice take by Nakazawa. You know, Duarte is the next hitter. He's the cleanup guy. Not like you necessarily want to pitch to him, but boy, maybe they pitch around Nakazawa a little bit, a bases loaded situation.
Yeah, see if they can get the out at home and then on to first for a double play.
That pitch is going to be high, 2-0. Yeah, normally you don't want to load the bases with nobody out, but in this scenario, it may not be the worst thing because now you're right. Everything flows towards home plate anyway.
Yeah.
And right now, you're having to make a tag play at home on a ball to the infield, and the infield is back up the middle. So anything up the middle on the ground by Nakazawa is going to score Ibanez-Eddy. He's going to get the bunt down, and it is going to roll foul. Boy, that was a great-looking bunt.
Sandoval making sure that ball went foul, but boy, that looks like it was going to stay fair for a second.
And if so, everybody would have been safe.
Yeah.
Ibanez-Eddy was already at home plate by the time Sandoval picked that ball up.
Every runner was already to a bag by the time the ball was picked up.
If Ibanez-Eddy wasn't just polite enough to keep the bat for Nakazawa, he might have been in the dugout.
Yeah.
So the count now 2-1. Nobody out in the inning. We had a leadoff single for Ibanez-Eddy. Then Herrera, a single, puts runners at the corners. Nakazawa took a couple of balls high, then bunted one foul. Wants his coach to go through the signs again. Everyone sensing the import of this moment. Throw over to first base.
Yeah,
Herrera's not going anywhere.
This is the biggest moment of the game so far. The last inning, first and second for Camarena, that rivaled it, but this, first and third, nobody out, is a much more important moment for both teams and for both fans here.
It's a bunt in the air and foul as giving chase Barajas, but well away from him. So now the count 2-2, and Nakazawa, let's see if the bunt play is off. I mean, normally it would be, but
I wouldn't put anything past Coach Steins down there at third.
Nakazawa stepping in now with a 2-2 count. A strikeout would be really big here for Dorado, as it was for Camarena last inning. Dorado's got 2 in the game to this point. Nakazawa showing bunt. Now he's going to pull back. He's going to hit the ball to short. And a play at second, one first, not in time, and a runner's going to score. Ibanez-Eddy didn't move at first on a deep ball up the middle, but then he comes around and Banning's on the board.
I mean, that's exactly what Nakazawa was supposed to do there. I mean, he gets the ground ball to shortstop, doesn't give up on the play, and beats the ball out to second base.
Well, man, I'm kind of surprised that was the defensive lineman, because even Carrillo, he bobbled it a little bit, but even if they execute the double play, Ibanez-Eddy's going to score.
He's going to score either way, yeah.
So it's now 1-0, and here is Duarte, who's going to drop a bunt down. Hustling is the catcher, the throw. Nice job by Barajas bouncing on that, and down to second goes Nakazawa with 2 down in the inning. That is a good defensive play on the 1-3 putout. Or excuse me, 2-3 putout. 2 down. So, yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, you had double play up the middle with first and third. I would think you'd have the infield in. If that had been the case, the ball would have gone right to Carrillo, and maybe you have second and third. You get the out at first, but you could have then
back and then yeah.
But then you could have walked the guy, set up a bases loaded situation. I don't know,
and then get a double play there. Yeah, it's interesting choices from Coach Kanipo Aguirre.
And here's a ball to center field on the first pitch, and coming on and making the play is Sinclair for the out to end the 6th inning. But Banning has a run. The first of the game, 1-0 our score. The top of the 7th, the Pilots looking to close it out. Carson looking to stick in here. We'll see if they can right after this on the NFHS Network.
I would encourage people to take college classes while they're still in high school because most dual enrollment classes are free.
Get a head start at a California community college. With dual enrollment, earn college credits while you're still in high school.
Dual enrollment is such an important thing and lifesaver.
If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Check with your high school or community college counselor today. Save money and earn your college degree faster.
There's a lot of things in this world that will get in your way, but there's nothing that you cannot do.
Enroll now at iCanGoToCollege.com.
The action's happening at your Ford dealer, and Ford's action heroes are ready to perform. Our F-Series, our Mustang Mach-E, and our Ford Bronco. With your trade-in, you can lease a Ford Bronco for a low $399 a month.
Top of the 7th inning. Jeff Kurtz with Ben Kurtz here on the NFHS Network. Banning 3 outs away from their first section championship since 1961. Carson trying to hang in with a 1-run deficit as Banning pushes their first run across. Last inning, it will be Noah Sandoval, Chris Sinclair, and Isaac Hernandez, the 3 scheduled hitters for Carson here in the top of the 7th.
Camarena looking to complete the game. He's back out there for his 7th inning of work. 6 hits for him today.
He has pitched extremely well, scattering those 6 hits, not allowing anybody past second base. Sandoval has one of those hits. He had a leadoff double in the 2nd inning. 1 for 2. First pitch. On the ground towards second base. Herrera ranges to his right. Throw over, 1 down.
Great first pitch from Camarena and a nice play by A.J. Herrera. That's not easy. He got around that ball, was able to square it up nicely and make a great throw in plenty of time.
Here's Chris Sinclair, the center fielder. Nice play to complete that last inning, coming into his left to make a catch on a line drive to center field. He has reached on a fielder's choice, been caught stealing. He's also grounded out to the pitcher. 0 for 2 in this one. Camarena's first pitch to him. Outside corner for a strike.
I mean, Camarena hasn't lost what looks like any velo at all, and definitely hasn't lost his pinpoint accuracy so far in this game. He has been lights out.
He has had only 1 batter he's faced the entire day that's gone to a 3-ball count. He has walked nobody. The 0-1 in there for strike 2.
Top of the zone, beautiful pitch. And you can see why Sinclair laid off that one. Not the best pitch to hit when you want to keep the ball on the ground.
They're playing Sinclair to right.
Both teams have guys warming up in their respective bullpens.
Just in case. Gonzalez setting up outside. Camarena delivers and misses away.
That is a beautiful pitch and great frame by Gonzalez. I mean, he set that up perfectly, just a couple baseballs outside, maybe on that white line in the left-handed batter's box.
Our home plate umpire has been outstanding all game long with his calls. Did not go for that one. The 1-2 pitch coming up from Camarena is ripped to right field, and that's going to get by the right fielder into the corner. And now you've got interference is going to be the call as well, I would think, as hustling to third. And getting there is Carson. That could have been an inside the park home run potentially, but the odd interference from Duarte at first base. Boy, this is going to be really interesting.
If they call interference here, he's going home.
Ibanez Eddie went for the ball, and it skipped by him. And then rounding first base, Sinclair's got good speed, ran into Duarte. And then it possibly the way the ball bounced around the corner, he could have had a shot at home.
Yeah.
And that's the argument that Carson is making right here is, look, because he got held up, that slowed his momentum. It's not just a guaranteed triple there. It could be an inside the park home run.
Yeah.
This is going to be an interesting call here.
This could decide whether Carson stays in this game or not.
They're going to keep him at third base. Wow. I mean, I see the umpire's point in that you can't guarantee that there was going to be a play at the plate. They're going to call that a base hit with an error. Ibanez-Eddy was thinking, I might have a shot here, given how quickly the ball got out to me in right field, to throw Sinclair out at first base.
That's really not the play you want there, though. You need to keep that ball in front of you, and that sets up the double play if he's on first base with one out.
But instead, the error puts Sinclair at third, so then Carson arguing just a moment to say, hey, look, that's a situation where he could have potentially scored, but but the umpires can't say that's definitive. So
yeah, I mean,
I see it both ways.
Yeah. But if you're banning here, you need to go infield in.
Yes, absolutely. No question.
There's no question. You need to cut off that run. That is the game-tying run, and the go-ahead's at the plate. But right now, you need to focus on the hitter.
Well, and the hitter is going to be different. It's going to be Jaden Macias. Macias is going to bat for Hernandez, who's 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a ground out to third. So Jaden Macias is the hitter. Infield is in. First pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
And if you're Gonzalez right there, you're back there, you need to be locked in and just be a wall, be a goalie. Smother any ball that's remotely close to being in the dirt.
Second pitch. Outside, a ball, 1-1. Macias batting 185 on the year in 27 games, though. He has driven in 8 runs. Has a couple of doubles to boot. So definitely a guy who can put his bat into a ball and take it places. They are shading him to right center field. Infield in, the count even at 1-1. Camarena pitches. Ball in the air. High fly ball. Down to the right field corner. And wisely, Ibanez-Eddy's going to let it go.
That's smart.
That is a huge play.
That's smart. That is a very heads-up play from Ibanez-Eddy. If he catches that ball, I mean, I think Sinclair is scoring easily on that. That is a really long throw to make in an awkward angle for Gonzalez because it's coming into foul ground, and you got to kind of give some room off the plate in order to make that tag.
Might have been into the net as well after he made the catch, so rather than give the runner at third an opportunity to tag up on the pop-out foul, he let it go. 1-2. Camarena is going to hit him. I mean, I could see Ibanez-Eddy putting faith in his pitcher. Camarena has been around the plate all day, but this time he hits a batter. And I think we're going to have a pinch runner for Macias.
They might re-enter Hernandez. No, it's going to be someone different.
It is going to be Salvador Carrillo, who is ineligible to pitch today, but he can pinch run. So Carrillo is going to come in to run. Runners at the corners for Damian Ruvalcaba, the right fielder. We're in the top of the 7th inning. 1-0 Banning taking the lead in the bottom of the 6th. On a fielder's choice ground out. Double play depth up the middle. First pitch to Ruvalcaba is going to be in there for a strike.
He's 0 for 2 on the day. Fly out to center and a ground out to short. He's seen 10 pitches on the day, so you have to think he's got to go up there with some kind of plan. Maybe taking until he gets strike one, and now he's seen it, and now he's ready to swing.
He's going to square to bunt, and they've got a man potentially picked up, but diving back in is Sinclair.
Wow, that was very close.
The pitch was a ball. It was off the plate. Gonzalez, a quick throw down to third, and they almost got Sinclair leaning. Don't know if that was a squeeze bunt. It certainly wasn't a suicide squeeze. It was a safety one. You got to make sure the ball is down first. So the count is even at 1-1. See if Carson puts a bunt play on again. They will not. That pitch is in for strike 2. Going down to second with a throw. Gonzalez throwing late, a delayed steal. Carrillo
very well executed. Delay steal, you make it look like you're just getting a regular secondary over there at first, but then take off once you've gotten those big 2 shuffles, and you need to gain ground on those. You can't stay in the same place, or it's like you're giving yourself a disadvantage on your way to second base.
That eliminates the double play and will bring the infield in with a 1-2 count on Rubalcaba. Camarena delivers. In the air, foul out of play. Into the band of Banning. The Banning band. I don't know if the tuba player was ready, but he could have caught that one in his tuba.
I know.
Outfield is playing in.
Yeah.
Very in.
You got to stop that shallow fly ball in no man's land.
The pitch outside. And Gonzalez, whose arm has been tested twice, and he's answered the call both times, gets Sinclair to scurry back to the bag. Without a throw, you got to be heads up down there. This is the lead runner for Carson right now. The count is 2-2 on Rubalcaba. And now time called at home plate by the batter. Rubalcaba, a senior. Part of this team that was here 2 years ago in the open when Carson came up on the short end. 2 runners in scoring position. Camarena delivers. Inside ball 3. Very close pitch. Tremendous take by the batter.
And a full count now.
With 1 down in the inning.
A base is open, though, and that does set up the double play. But you really don't want to let this runner on. You really need to get some kind of out that keeps the runners where they are.
Camarena hunting for a strikeout here. The pitch on the ground to second base. Runner's going to come home. Throw is not in time. And we are tied at 1. The throw took Gonzalez away from the runner. He got the tag down on the foot, but not before Sinclair had crossed home plate with a headfirst slide. And Coach Levere out to argue, saying the tag was made there, and Sinclair doesn't look like he's 6'2". But I thought that was a pretty good call from our vantage point here, Ben. And now you've got runners at the corners on the fielder's choice. Rubalcaba comes through with the ball in play and the RBI on a 3-2 pitch.
Wow.
And now here's James Markell, who's had a lot of success against Camarena in this game. 2 singles to center. 2 for 2 in this one. Runner at third is Carrillo. He scampered over to third base on that throw home. Now the infield is at double play depth. Rubalcaba with a lead over at first base. Camarena, that's the first earned run. Well, I don't know if that's going to be earned or not. We'll see. Here's a bunt down. They're coming home. The throw home is in time.
Wow, that's a beautiful
play. Boy, great play by the pitcher.
Wow. That is a huge play. 1-2 put out.
2 down. Down to second base goes Rubalcaba.
Yeah, the 1-2 fielder's choice. But that brings up the top of the lineup in Nate Ruan.
And the freshman who got an infield single on a bunt attempt in his last at-bat, now 1 for 3 on the game. Boy, Ben, I think right now that is an unearned run still, so Camarena's ERA is still at 0. I mean,
I honestly think that's the least of his worries right now.
I'm sure
though.
It is. Yeah. That's true. But yeah, the score 1-1 now. Runner still in scoring position. Ruan the batter. Camarena's going to miss away, ball 1. Well, credit to Carson fighting back here.
Yeah.
To tie the game in the top of the 7th. Trying to take the lead. The pitch to Ruan is going to catch the corner for a strike. Camarena checks the runners, delivers. High and away, ball 2. The runner at second base is Ruvalcaba. Markel is at first. Ruvalcaba right now representing the go-ahead run for Carson here in the top of the 7th. Infield and outfield shading Ruan to right. Camarena the pitch, high, ball 3. Camarena hasn't walked a batter. He's hit 1 in this inning. That was Jaden Macias. He's struck out 3 in the game. The pitch on 3-1 is going to be right down the middle for a strike, and the count goes full. With 2 down in the inning, the runners are going to be moving. And you've got a kid with very good speed at the dish. Carrillo getting his lead at Ruvalcaba getting his lead at second base, and now time called by Ruan. They're really not holding Ruvalcaba on very tightly there at second base, Ben. He's probably got another step if he wants.
Yeah, I think they're just playing for the out here.
Runners are going. The pitch fouled away. I love that we're getting the Dodger Stadium organist. I don't know if he's here live or
if that's just recorded.
But still, pretty good.
Yeah.
And pretty representative of the situation. Ruan steps back in. Pitch number 7 of the at-bat coming up here, and they're going to look to second base. Nobody is there defensively, and Ruvalcaba will get back in. Good idea by Camarena, though, trying to keep him close. Runners will be on the move again. Camarena sets, delivers, fouled away into the netting above the first base dugout. We were joking at the beginning of the game about Ruan, Ben, like as an 8th grader last year. Hey, guess what? A year from now, you're playing at Dodger Stadium. How cool is that, right? Now he's got a chance to give his team the lead at Dodger Stadium.
In the 7th inning.
Camarena is going to try it again. Pitch number 8. Outside, ball 4. First walk of the game given up by Camarena as Ruan does a nice job working the walk. The bases are loaded, and the batter will be Juno Carrillo, who leads the team in runs batted in this year with 20. He's 0 for 3 in the game. He's flied out to right twice and lined out to right once. And now Gonzalez is going to jog out to the mound to talk to Camarena, who's thrown a lot of pitches in this inning. .23-pitch inning for Camarena, Ben, right now.
Yeah. It's been a long inning.
He's had 23 pitches in the previous 2 innings combined. 5th and 6th inning, 23 pitches. 7th inning, 23 pitches.
Yeah.
But a lot of options defensively for Banning here in a tie ball game. They just need to get 1 out to give themselves a chance to try to walk it off in the bottom of the 7th. Camarena's first pitch to Carrillo. Outside, ball 1.
You can't walk in a run here.
No,
you got to go right after him.
And Ibanez Eddie, who's retired Carrillo 3 times, got to be anticipating that again here. For the infield, whatever base is easiest, you got to force anywhere. The 1-0. Towards center field, it's going to fall for a hit. That's going to score 1 and 2 as Carson has taken a 3-1 lead.
What a clutch play by the shortstop. being asked to start it short and coming up big for his team with a 2-out, 2 RBI knock to center field.
Juno Carrillo with the biggest hit of his young life. And Coach Levere is going to go to the bullpen. We'll take a quick break here on the NFHS Network as Carson coming up clutch here in the top of the 7th. They got a 3-1 lead. We'll be back with more right after this.
This is heart. This is pride. This is community. This is high school football.
Pitching change for Banning, the new pitcher, Oscar Chavez. Ben, you've got his numbers.
Yeah, 20 innings pitched so far this year, 7 hits, 1 run, and it wasn't earned. 10 walks, 9 Ks, 1 double allowed, and opponents are hitting 103 against him, so he's definitely got some shutout abilities when he's on. You just can't allow any walks here, as that is the weak point. 10 walks, only 9 strikeouts.
Fernandez Barajas steps into the box, 2 for 3 today, a double, a single, a strikeout. He's going to put a ball into the air, foul.
Heads up down there.
That is a high fly ball. And it's 0-1. After a huge base hit by Juno Carrillo to give his team a 2-run advantage. We had been scoreless through 5.5. Banning scratched out a run in the bottom of the 6th inning. Carson has come back with 3 in the top of the 7th. And you still have runners in scoring position. At second base is Ruan with outstanding speed, and Carrillo just a hair behind him in the speed department. 40 stolen bases combined between those two. I don't think they're going to be trying to steal anything here, but that means they can fly around the base paths. Barajas, the pitch, curveball into the air, and this is playable for the center fielder Sanchez. He's going to take in a couple of steps, and Chavez does his job to end the inning for Banning's defense, but not before. Carson sends 8 guys to the plate, puts 3 runs on the board to take a 3-1 lead. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Pilots going to see what they can do with that. Can they take the lead, tie the game up? They're trying to extend it. We'll find out if they can right after this on the NFHS Network. Bottom of the 7th inning. The Banning Pilots now trailing 3-1 to Carson. Brandon Villarreal, Ethan Camejo, Isaac Martinez, the scheduled hitters for Banning. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the order. Jeff Kurtz alongside Ben Kurtz. Live from Dodger Stadium on the NFHS Network in what has turned into an outstanding Division I championship game. We mentioned Banning hadn't won a title since 1961. Carson, school founded in 1963, has never won a championship in baseball in school history. Either team was going to make history for their school today. Banning, in taking that 1-0 lead, Ben, in the bottom of the 6th, thought they were going to, but now they're going to have to come from behind, trailing 3-1.
Dorado still in the game for Carson, the starting pitcher for him. Meanwhile, Anthony Camarena had to come out after 6 2/3. He gave up 8 hits, 3 runs, none of them earned, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, and 3 strikeouts.
Villarreal 2 for 2 on the day. Make that 3 for 3. No, it's going to be caught by the center fielder Sinclair in the left center field gap. 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. And this will be Oscar Chavez, who's going to bat in Camejo's spot, it looks like.
Yeah, they're going to kill the DH.
So the DH eliminated. Oscar Chavez going to come out and hit.
Chavez batting .429 on the year in 14 at-bats, 14 plate appearances.
He's been pretty effective when he's gotten his opportunities. He's going to take strike 1, though, from Anthony Dorado.
Yeah, 6 hits, 5 runs, 1 RBI, and 2 doubles.
That one's going to be ripped foul into the netting above the first base dugout for Carson, and there are 2 strikes now on Chavez. Dorado pretty hyped out there on the mound, trying to stay steady. The pitch outside, and the count goes 1-2 as Barajas was setting up on the outer half of the plate. And really more into the left-handed batter's box. 1-2 on Chavez. Off the plate, 2-2. Outfield is playing Chavez pretty much straight away, as is the infield. A little bit of a gap in left center between Allen and Sinclair. And now Sinclair is going to move a little bit towards right center. The 2-2. Off speed, got him swinging. Great changeup by Dorado, 2 down. And Carson is 1 out away.
I mean, what a great tunnel there from Dorado. He throws the fastball low and away and then goes right to the changeup on back-to-back pitches and just catches him right out over the front.
And batting for Isaac Martinez is going to be Adrian Higuereta. Higuereta going to step in.
He's batting .250 on the year in 8 at-bats with 2 hits, both singles.
Just trying to keep it going for Banning. Carson trying to close it out. The first pitch on the ground into left field, a base hit. Banning still alive.
Great pinch hit from Higuera.
So Higuereta is on, and this would be Gonzalez, the catcher, who is 0 for 2. He is flied out to right. He is lined out to short.
Both great swings, just missing the fly out to right field. And then that line out to shortstop, just right to him. It was so hard hit, just right to him.
Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner for Higuereta. Looks like Anthony Castro is going to come on to pinch run. So Castro is now at first. The tying run is at the plate in Matthew Gonzalez. They're going to hold Castro on at first. Dorado, that's his 7th hit he's given up. This pitch is outside, ball 1.
Dorado has picked someone off, so I think it's smart by Carson to hold on that guy at first.
Even though that run's somewhat inconsequential.
No, that run.
You could give him second base. But
yeah. But still not a terrible idea.
3-1 the score. This pitch is going to be high, ball 2. Honestly, you saw this from Kenley Jansen a few years ago where he just said, take second, take third. Yeah. He balked, actually, a guy to third base just so he didn't have to worry about it anymore. He could just focus on the hitter.
Yeah, and so he wouldn't have to, so the guy on second couldn't steal his signs.
As well, yeah. Well, Dorado, I don't know if he has that level of veteran leadership necessarily to take that on, nor would we advise it at the high school level. But with an eye on the runner at first base, he's thrown 2 balls to Gonzalez, who I got to think, Ben, is taking until he gets strike 1.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have to. You need 2-0 in a high-pressure situation.
That is a strike. Gonzalez taking all the way, 2-1.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, you got to see, maybe he throws you a 4-pitch walk. It's not likely, but it could definitely happen. And if that is the case, you don't want to give him anything. You don't want to give him any free strikes.
Carson fans on their feet in the stands with 2 outs. This pitch in the air, left field. It's in the gap. Over is Allen. He's there, and Carson has won the Division I title. The Carson Colts, with 3 runs in the top of the 7th inning, have done what no team in school history has been able to do: win a CIF LA City Section baseball championship.
And there he is. Being lifted out of the dugout is Josiah Agredano. On his crutches in one leg, the senior who started it short all year.
How satisfying that must be. It took Carson 62 years, but I think these kids would say it was worth the wait. The NFHS Network postgame show coming up in just a few moments, folks. We'll have the award ceremony down on the field. We'll name our player of the game from the winning team. Congratulations to Carson. They are your 2025 Division I champions in the LA City section. They win the city championship. We'll be back right after this.
Our number one priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football. This is heart. This is pride. This is community. This is high school football.
It's the NFHS Network postgame show live from Dodger Stadium, where we just saw the Carson Colts and Banning Pilots battle it out in what was a classic, a 3-1 win for Carson, their first in school history. They get 3 runs in the top of the 7th inning and preserve the win with a 2-out fly out to left field to end the game. Jeff Kurtz with Ben Kurtz. Ben, what a game we just saw. Just outstanding defense for 5 innings of shutout ball. Banning's able to put something together, get a run in the bottom of the 6th inning, but Carson with a huge bounce back in the top of the 7th to push 3 across, take the lead, and ultimately win the game.
I mean, my hats are off to both teams. That was an exciting game to watch. It had everything you want to see when you go to a baseball game. It had a great pitcher's duel between Camarena and Dorado. It had timely hitting from both teams. It had a comeback win for one of them. And, just celebration and excitement all around. It was a great, great game to watch.
Well, folks, let's turn our attention to player of the game from Carson as we await the awards ceremony. And, boy, this game's got everything, Ben. We've got Venice and El Camino Real set to play next. They're starting to take the field. We've got a Dodger pitcher on a rehab assignment out in left field warming up right now. So you got a bunch of, and we got an awards ceremony out on the field. We got a lot going on. Let's start first with our first player of the game, the pitcher for Carson, Anthony Dorado. What a performance, throwing a complete game.
I mean, it was amazing. A complete game. He gave up 1 run. It was earned, but he had no walks, no hit by pitches, and he struck out 3. That tells us, folks, that he produced so many weak contact balls, and he overcame adversity when he gave up that 1 run, and all those 7 hits, he made Banning leave so many guys on base, backed by amazing defense. My hat's off to Anthony Dorado. What a game for him.
And then, of course, our co-player of the game, the guy who drove in the game-winning hit, the guy who is standing in for senior Josiah Agredano, the starting shortstop all year. Juno Carrillo pressed into service, did a nice job defensively on the game, but then had the biggest hit of his life, a single to center that scored 2, ultimately the game-winning runs for Carson.
Yeah, and he, leading up to that point, he wasn't exactly successful. I mean, a fly out to right field, 2 flyouts to right field in his first 2 at-bats, actually, and then a line out to right field, and he put all of that past him, focused on that 1 at-bat, and said, this is the moment that I've been waiting for all game. Stepped into that box, did exactly what he needed to do, and got his team the win.
Just a fantastic performance, and Anthony Camarena for Banning.
Absolutely amazing
Just
job.
a fantastic job. I mean, was pitching so well and so efficiently until that final inning when Carson was able to push those runs across. But, boy, the Banning Pilots fought hard. You had a league matchup here today. It's tough to beat a team 3 times out of 4 in 1 year.
Yeah.
And Banning unable to do it today. I know they're very disappointed, but
they should not hang their heads, though. They have had an amazing season, and I look forward to seeing them back here next year.
They finished 22-9 in LA City section play. Meanwhile, the Carson Colts 19-13 on the year, Ben. They've won 18 of their last 22 games. They move on to state playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, good luck to them. I mean, I wish them the best of luck. I hope they go far.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for us here. We will keep the game rolling for you here. The awards ceremony, we'll follow that through all the way to the end. Ben and I have to go get set up for the next game between Venice and El Camino Real. Boy, Ben, if it's even half as exciting as this game was, you won't want to miss that.
Yeah.
The game was originally scheduled to begin at 1 o'clock. Might be delayed slightly because this one ran a little bit longer, but what a performance by the 2 teams out here today. Congratulations to Banning and Carson for getting this far. And to the Carson Colts, hang that title proudly. The first in school history after 62 years. They win at 3-1 over Banning. We'll be back for the Open Division Championship in just a little bit, folks. Thanks so much for joining us on your home for high school sports, the NFHS Network.
Number 22, Anthony Castro. Number 23, Jonathan Guillen. Number 27, Matthew Gonzalez. Number 29, Rafael Gonzalez. Number 30, Hebron Yankee Morelos. Number 42, Pedro Epanizetti. We'd like to present the runner-up team plaque to the head coach of Benning High School, Tommy Louvier. Congratulations to your 2025 CIF Los Angeles City Section Division I Baseball runner-up, the Benning Pilots. And now, let's introduce your 2025 CIF Los Angeles City Section Division I Baseball Champion, the Carson Colts. When you hear your call, please go to the podium to collect your championship medal. Number 1, Josiah Agredano. Number 6, Juno Carrillo. Number 13, Isaac Hernandez. Number 15, Nate Ruan. Number 11, Jake Torres. Number 5, Noah Sandoval. Number 8, Jamie Macias. Number 25, Joseph Mesa. Number 27, Xavier Allen. Number 4, Chris Sinclair. Number 3, Damian Rubalcaba. Number 14, Josiah Ripley. Number 17, Victor Alvarez. Number 10, Anthony Toronto. Number 16, Sebastian Hernandez. Number 92, Andrew Hawkins. Number 22, Brendan Viano. Number 32, Mike Akiniga. Number 16, Salvador Hernandez Carrillo. Number 24, Fernando Barajas. 21, Angel Orwena. Number 12, Alma Del Torre. Number 7, Ryder Tambry. Number 30, James Marquez. Number 1, James Solorio. Number 35, Eli Munoz. Andres Barajas. Number 4, Jesse Rehelva. Jeffrey Davids. Christian Martinez. Alex Gonzalez. Andrew Navarra, and Mark Macias. At this time, we'd like to invite head coach of Carson, Michael Knippel-Aguirre, to accept the championship plate from LA City Section Commissioner Vicky Longos. We're also presenting a perpetual trophy to Carson Principal, Dr. Diana Plata. Introducing your 2025 CIF Los Angeles City Section Division I Baseball Champion, the Carson Colts. Gentlemen, the CIF Los Angeles City Section and the Los Angeles Dodgers, we thank you for your attendance here at today's game. We'd like to stick around for game 2 of today's championship doubleheader between the El Camino Royals and the Venice Gondoliers.